Well, how's it going, everyone out there in YouTube land or podcast land or wherever the heck you're listening to? Welcome to the Universe Magic Podcast. My name is John. I am one of your hosts, and I am joined at the table virtually, as always, by my good friend, Jen.
Hello, how are you doing,
You thought I
everybody?
was going to Jeff, but of course, we're joined by Mr. Sparty, Jeff himself.
Hey,
So,
everybody.
yeah. So it is our official last show of the year. And we're just going to go over some of the things that has happened this year at Walt Disney World and Disney parks in general, because there was a lot to cover. But as always, before we get into that, we are brought to you by momentsofmagictravel.com. Get your free, no obligation quote, no pressure. You tell us what you want to plan, and we can help you plan it. So momentsofmagictravel.com. And of course, if you are new to our show, make sure you like and subscribe to all of us on our different various platforms that we're on. Leave us a 5-star review. Tell us we're great. We won't. We promise we'll be nice in the comments. So, all right. With that being said,
Happy
man,
holidays first.
happy holidays.
Yes,
Did I say
happy
that? I didn't
holidays,
say that.
guys.
Look at
Yeah.
Jen's all festive with her sweater.
I was gonna rock
my
my
Mickey.
ugly Christmas sweater that I had through Disney World, but I'm wearing orange and it would contrast horribly, so I just went with my Steelers hoodie.
The Steelers can be looked at as festive because they get snow for all the
Oh
games.
yeah, that was they got snowed on Sunday, but that's neither here nor there. So, oh man, so
Year in
recapping
review.
year in review.
review. Lots
I
of
look
things.
forward to this show every year because it kind of gives us a recap. I remember, what was it? 2 years ago we did the show, and that was right around the time that Bob Chapek got fired, and it was interesting. So come a long way, as they say.
Yeah, some people might be saying year in review, the last one of the year already. Well, I mean, we tape on Tuesdays, and the next 2 Tuesdays are holidays. We got Christmas Eve next week, and then New Year's week, New Year's Eve after. And I know we have the better part of 3 weeks left in the month, but this is our last episode of the year, and then we won't see you guys again until January 7th, and we might have Alyssa back soon too. So
yay!
Yes, so we are so excited for that. We look forward to her coming back. So I don't really think it's necessary for us to go month by month, but let's just go park by park, because
park by park. And we were talking about it. I think Jen here is going to kind of run Disney World, and we're going to be her Ed McMahon for that. And then, and then I'll take over the reins, and we'll close it out by talking Disneyland over in California, because there's a lot of things, especially if you're a Marvel fan, happening over there. So people are going to want to hear and recap a little bit about what's going over there. But we'll start with the lovely Jen, and we'll talk about Walt Disney World.
Yes.
There was so much announced this year. And as we know with Disney, sometimes plans get changed and don't happen, i.e. Spaceship Earth, i.e.
The Mary Poppins attraction, i.e. half of everything at Epcot.
Things change, But if Disney does 80% of what they announced, there's going to be some major things happening over the next year, let alone the next 3 or 4 years.
Correct.
So let's get into it. Where we want to start, Jen?
Well, I figure we'll just start right at the big guy, Magic Kingdom, and go over the few things that are coming there. So in 2024, what happened? Well, Splash Mountain went away. Tiana's Bayou opened up. So there was a little bit of controversy around that, but I think it's been well received. People have been enjoying the ride, although it has had some difficulties staying open. But I think for the majority of the people and the time, everybody is.
Are they still having issues? When I was there in September, it ran pretty darn smooth.
Oh, good. That's good.
It ran pretty smooth, and I was in Magic Kingdom, I think, 3 days, and I didn't hear about any.
Oh, perfect. Mm-hmm. That's good.
When I was there in July, there was a lot of breakdowns, but that was...
Yeah, they were just, still working through the kinks.
And they weren't technically like mechanical breakdowns. It's just the new elements with, Tiana and the whole bayou.
Yeah.
Causes the ride, obviously, to not for people not to see how things are supposed to be presented. So I don't think it's probably mechanical, because that ride is the same as Splash Mountain, which was pretty hardy for the most part.
It is.
You know, but I think some of these new ride elements with the incredible, you know, cartoon to real life look that they give these figures, I think that's where probably a lot of this happened.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of animatronic and just
Animatronic
different.
issues, because you are right, that Tiana ride, it's pretty amazing what they did as far as the overhaul to it and the theming. Don't get me wrong, I still miss Splash Mountain, something
I
fierce.
know, it's just
You
so
know,
iconic.
when you
I
come into that
miss
last
Splash
scene, and
Mountain,
I
and
miss the zippity doodah, you know. And
I know.
but it is,
Party.
they done a nice job. We're real on this podcast. I still wish they would have given Tiana her own brand new ride, you know, but this is a really cool alternative.
Yeah.
Especially with what they announced, you know, that's coming, you know, to Magic Kingdom. But yes, if you haven't ridden it yet, go check it out. It's a blast. Have you been on it, Jen?
I have not been on it yet. Every time I've been, I haven't been into Magic Kingdom. I've done other parks, so I have not been on it yet.
And for those
I
people
will
that,
say I liked it, but there is a lot of dead space,
yeah,
especially in the beginning of the ride. Like
you
there
are
is
right.
just not a lot going on. Where Splash Mountain, you had some elements of a story,
Yeah,
and you don't really get that essentially in the beginning. Like especially when you go up that first incline right before you go into the actual mountain itself. So like I love the animatronics. I love the music. It was great.
people, you got to be judged for yourself.
Yeah.
I think you'll like it. And the good news is, I think going into 2025, it's still going to be part of the virtual queue. I haven't seen any announcements that it's going off.
Yeah.
You can pick it as part of the, I think it's the multi-pass. Not even in the single pass. So you can get it as part of the multi-pass. But if you don't want to waste one of your tier 1 multi-passes on Tiana, you can get a free virtual queue for it still.
Yes.
So to me, that's the way to go, because, you know, Magic Kingdom's got so many really hard to decide on tier 1s. I personally would not use it as a multi-pass. Get a free virtual queue and pick something like, I don't know, Space Mountain or you know, as your tier 1. So all right,
so
we kicked that
real
one
quickly before we kind of missed something in the rundown. John, Country Bears reopened.
That's right.
Yeah,
Reimagined.
Country Bears was reimagined.
Jamboree.
Let's just shove all the IP we can into like a classic. Like,
but I loved it.
Oh,
I absolutely loved it. Don't get me wrong, I still miss the old Country Bears. You guys know me enough by now to know I'm a nostalgia.
Oh, for sure.
Clickety clack, I miss that. Like,
but there were some funny moments in the new IP version of the Country Bears. You know, there were some really good. And you still have some of your favorite characters. They're just a little bit different scheme now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and I think it's a couple minutes longer than the old show too.
And I'm just glad they reimagined and didn't take it away. So that's cool. Good.
Yeah.
And then you got something opening right near it too, since we're right in that area, right?
Oh yeah. So this all the Magic Kingdom news is kind of basically in one area, in the Frontierland area. So the next thing coming is the closing down of Tom Sawyer's Island and the opening of the Cars attraction area. So we're going to be getting Lightning McQueen and Friends over there in that area and beyond, with new things coming beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So first we've got Cars, which is going to be amazing. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm excited to see what's happening there. I know there'll be a ride similar to what they have in Disneyland with the Cars attraction, but that's, you know, they made that Cars attraction kind of in conjunction with Test Track. So, but I think this is going to be, it's going to be totally different. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be.
Now, with everything new, something old has to go away. We mentioned Tom Sawyer Island, but there's also the river is going to be filled in, and the paddle boat is going to be gone.
Yes, the paddle boat's going to go bye-bye.
I would be surprised if that paddle boat is not. I'm not going to say into a new ride somewhere, but if it's not,
Yeah.
maybe put up as a prop or something at some somewhere, because that's a historic piece of Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. I wonder if they would use it somehow to transport guests back and forth over one of the lakes or something like that. You think maybe they would repurpose it?
They could. I mean, it was on a track, right? It was in a track.
True. It was
Yes,
on
it was
track.
on a track.
They probably would have to
You're right.
retrofit it or change it to be it, but I'm sure it's
Yeah.
buoyancy and float worthy to be on a regular water, Bay Lake or something. Who knows? I just don't see them trashing it.
No, I don't think so either. It's an iconic piece. I can't imagine they would do that.
But
Yeah.
the river will be filled in. I would imagine that's where the cars ride and all that stuff's going to be right there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
right next to the Haunted Mansion there. It's going to be interesting.
Yep.
And then beyond Big Thunder.
Yes, then beyond Big Thunder, we've got Villains Land, which I am super excited for this. I cannot wait to see the renderings and what they've got in store for this whole area. I haven't seen anything. Have you guys seen any renderings for it yet?
I don't know if no, not really. I think there's some fan made ones out there floating around.
Mhm.
I think there was a lot of people who are excited and a lot of people who thought that Villains should get their own, a
Whole land
fifth
park.
turnstile and park, and this was
Mhm.
the alternative. I think it's going to be amazing. I don't know about you guys, but it's always weird. Whenever I get off Big Thunder, I've always thought that was like a dead end part,
Yeah.
the park. You get off, you look left, and it's like, this is like a dead end here,
Yeah, you're just trapped there.
Dead end no more.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to float around into like Fantasyland or something like that, have an entrance into Fantasy. So I think it's going to be cool. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited to see, like you said, for it to come full circle, for there to be a wraparound
Yeah,
back into
Fantasyland.
another land.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I think I saw it was going to be Fantasyland, because if that was a wraparound, that's where it would be, right? If you looked
Mhm.
around back there,
Yeah.
that would be like maybe the entrance back by like either the circus area, back there, or maybe
Mhm.
some feeding you into the area where Little Mermaid ride and maybe even as edgy as it's a Small World area. They could put an entrance in a number of places.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
But yeah, Villains Land, I think it's going to be cool. I would imagine that's going to be like Disney's dark area of the park.
Mhm.
I don't think it'll be real colorful in there. You don't want it to be. You want it to have that vibe. But
Yep.
what a cool way to have more of the villains floating around for picture opportunities and all that. And
Yeah.
I'm a big villain fan, so I think that'd be cool.
Yep, I'm with you, and I have a lot of clients that have traveled that have asked for more villain meet and greets and
Yeah.
things like
Mhm.
that, and I'm just unfortunately, there's not a ton. You've gotta catch them at certain times, but this is gonna be great. And I
Yes.
think it more, um, competition with Epic Universe and their, like, scary Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Dracula, Werewolf Land,
Well, I'm
so
sure there
Yeah.
was no coincidence of why they announced that.
right.
Because I
They
think
needed to do something.
they
Let
did.
let's
They
let's
did.
not get it like I really think they needed to go big or go home,
Epic
as
Epic
they say.
Universe Epic Universe is going to steal the thunder in 25, at least the second half of
Yeah.
the year.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What I think it opens in May,
Yep.
and I can
Yep.
see the attendance at Universal being higher than Disney for the rest of the year. I really
Yeah.
can.
Yep.
Yeah.
For a Disney nerd like me, I'm okay with that because that means it's going to be a little bit less people where I love to watch.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I just wish it was earlier when I'll be there in March and April. So
Yeah, I know, I know.
Use some of those snowbird miles and fly down there
yeah,
though.
I love Michigan too much in the summer. I don't want to leave here in the summer.
I
Yeah.
agree, and it's
It's
too hot.
unsettling.
It's too hot
It's too hot
downstate
over
or
there.
down there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what else? Anything else over at
Mm, that's it that I had for Magic Kingdom. I think that runs the gamut there,
there's
unless you can come up with
there's
anything else.
one more thing I thought about. This is mainly for DVC members. there's going to be a new DVC lounge coming
That's
in
right.
into that same general area that we just talked about. It's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's where the old shoot 'em up game used to be. Yeah, Magic
Yeah,
Kingdom.
the old arcade.
The old arcade, right by
Yeah.
the Bears and right by everything right there. So
Yep, close to Pecos Bills.
yep, close to Pico Bills. It's going to be a new DVC lounge for DVC members. I would imagine. You guys hear a lot of static?
I do. I'm not sure. Is that me?
I think it might be
Hold
you,
on.
John.
So, all right. So that about covers it for Magic Kingdom, guys.
Yep.
Where do we even go next?
We're
Because
going to
there
go
was,
to
yeah,
Animal Kingdom next.
Animal. Same
yes.
kingdom.
So, yeah, some big fun things happening there. We're going to get a whole 11-acre new land or area called Pueblo Esperanza. So,
Encanto.
themed the tropical Americas to kind of include a lot of the Encanto um, items theme, but also to bring in some Indiana Jones stuff or move the Indiana Jones theater. I think that's going to be kind of reimagined a little bit, but no, that's a new Indiana Jones ride. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's going to be over
Yeah.
there by the dinosaur.
It's replacing
area.
Dinosaur.
So Indiana Jones, is that they're going to no, that's right. It's going to be similar to the way they did it in Disneyland, but a totally different ride. It's going to be kind of like a continuation of that story.
Yes.
That's right.
So those, if you've
Yeah.
never been on the one in Disneyland, it's the
Which
same
is
ride.
amazing.
It's the same exact type of ride system as Dinosaur.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's identical ride system, the way it works, the way it flows, the cars and all that. So it just makes sense to make a continuation in another, because you're correct. It's a different story than the one that's told over at Disneyland, and it's still going to be Indiana Jones. I personally would love it if it was
Yeah.
more of a new Indiana Jones movie that just came out. I love that movie. But we'll see what they come up with.
Right.
So, yep, but yes, and actually that whole area back there, Dino Land, all of it's closing.
Yeah.
Kind of started. I'm okay with that. That was always kind of a weird area for me because I know they went for that carnival in your local city and your strip mall vibe, with the
The
concrete
games
floors, the
and
asphalt, and the tar and the yellow stripes, to simulate a parking lot. I just never thought it fit personally.
Yeah.
yeah.
I did
Yeah.
like.
I
did
will
love-
say from a travel agent perspective, that's truly going to make Animal Kingdom a half day park. Like removing that area, it's really going to make that would not make Animal Kingdom, in my humble opinion, like your arrival day. Park. That would be the park I would choose for, unless you're a purist and you want to go to Magic Kingdom. Animal Kingdom doing definitely a half day park on your arrival day. If you don't want to do the water park offer that they're offering,
Yeah,
definitely is
maybe
just
the
an easy
start.
park to knock out.
Yeah, maybe the start,
Yeah.
but I think I think the Tropical Americas land and the whole Zootopia area, I think it's going to grow. I think they're going to they'll do their best to build that back up.
And I really do think that Animal Kingdom does need some love. It's great that they have Pandora. But yeah, definitely.
Well, that it kind of leads into the next thing that I was going to answer, which Jeff alluded to, is the whole Zootopia show coming to the Tree of Life.
Yes. And obviously, with that coming new, something has to close. I personally will miss. It's tough to be a bug.
Yes.
One of my all-time favorite things to do when I'm at Animal Kingdom is to watch all the parents drag their little kids in there who didn't want to go in to start with, and then be totally freaked out and scared when those spiders drop. And
yep.
I always just get a kick out of that. These poor kids.
I have a really good friend who went back
Terrorized.
Yes.
Who went back in 2018, I believe, and his daughters had an absolute meltdown. He was texting me. I'm like, I told you.
Yeah.
Like, I told you. Don't
I think
listen.
as you get older, it doesn't bother you anymore. It's just kind of a fun, dark, but as a little kid, that can be traumatizing.
It
Those
can be
spiders
very
coming down,
scary.
and then at the very end, when the bugs are coming under your butt as you're leaving,
Yep.
Oh,
that's my wife always would like stand up or put her butt up in the air a little bit so it didn't hit it.
I
But,
love that. That's like, I don't know. That's awesome, and I hope they keep some of that stuff. I know it's a interactive theater, so I know they will. It's
yeah,
just going to
mhm,
be they're going to have different stuff, so it'll be
yeah.
fun
yeah.
to
Now,
see what
some of
they.
the things are going to remain open for a while in 25. Like one of my favorite restaurants there is Restaurantosaurus back there. I think that's going to remain open until it's not later in 25. There's
Mm-hmm.
some things that'll still be there for a little while. I think the Dino Bites and the Boneyard and some of that stuff will remain open for a little while, but that's
Mhm.
all going to be replaced in time.
Yep. Yep.
There's really no word on when, but I think if you do want to ride Dinosaur one last time,
Yeah,
get there.
yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that it's probably going to shut down.
They have not.
Probably
Yeah,
like late.
they have not announced anything. So
Yeah,
I would say, I bet you probably will be okay until I don't know.
fall of next year.
I bet you might be okay next year. To still
Yeah,
ride it. With all the other stuff they got started. I bet you might be, but it is going to shut down. So if you may only have the better part of 25 to ride Dinosaur
yeah,
Yep.
again in
For
its
your
current
last.
fashion. One of your
Yep.
last opportunities to see Claire Huxtable as the what is it? She's the one that runs the
Yeah.
Dino
The
Institute,
lab. She's the
Dino Institute lab.
boss. Boss
So
yeah,
lady.
yeah, I can't look at her and not think of Claire Huxtable from the Cosby Show.
Right. I
So,
yeah.
know.
but that's gonna
Especially that hairdo. That
and,
that was a Claire Huxtable hairdo.
and and most people don't realize, we used to have Bill Nye the Science Guy in two rides, right?
Yeah,
We had him at Epcot in the one with Ellen DeGeneres,
Yeah, the Exxon,
Yeah,
yes.
we had him there, and then we also have him on the dinosaur ride. He's in the queue and all that stuff, and there's a little bit of Bill Nye.
Yep.
With that closing, we're going to have no more Bill Nye anywhere, which is
Oh,
sad.
yeah.
So,
yep.
but I'm okay with the change at Epcot getting rid of Bill Nye because we got Guardians.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes. I'm
So,
totally good with
So
that.
what else?
yeah,
Anything else in Animal Kingdom?
That's it at Animal Kingdom. The only thing, as per usual, Kali River Rapids is going to be shutting down for the wintertime for a little
Yeah,
bit of refurb. So,
yeah,
but that typically happens when it's colder. Nobody wants to ride and get wet. So,
one of the things I want to, because D23 doesn't happen in 2025, it'll happen in 2026. I want to see them when all this stuff is changing. I want to see Cali River Rapids get rethemed, and
yeah,
so
yeah. It's kind of it's kind of run down a little bit in some
yeah,
areas. Some of the flags are really tattered, and it actually kind of goes with the theming, the flags, but I think it's a little bit more than just the theming.
yeah.
Um, that ride definitely has a Orlando water smell, and I think that's gotten a little worse over the years with the
Yeah.
yeah,
with the ride. But yes,
the
I would
good
agree
old
that
bromine.
yeah, it definitely it smells like sulfur, rotten eggs,
Yeah.
Yeah,
more than it used
It's
to. But
yeah. Disney
like
does not use chlorine like most water parks do. They use this chemical called bromine.
yeah.
mhm.
So, yep.
So all right, let's move on to the next park.
Okay, we're gonna
Yes.
go to Hollywood Studios.
Oh, Hollywood Studio.
So
There's a lot
Hollywood
of things happening there.
So the
How
three
much?
things that we have are kind of all intertwined that's happening in Hollywood Studios. So we're going to start with, which we talked about in depth on our last podcast, which is Muppet Vision 3D
Yeah.
is being archived, not going away per se. It is being archived. We don't know exactly what that means to make way for the new Monstropolis,
Yes.
Monsters Inc. area that's coming
Hmm.
in. So with that, that means we're going to have a lot of changes. Uh, so The Muppets are going away, but they are moving.
Yes.
The film is going away, but they are moving. So, Jeff, go ahead and talk about that part of it.
Yeah. So from everything I'm reading and what Disney has said is that they have said over and over, don't be surprised when the Muppet Vision 3D makes its reappearance again. Now, what that means, we don't know. Could it be something like, after hours in the Montropolis Theater, they do the Muppet Vision just as a nostalgic thing, kind of like what Epcot does with Impressions de France coming back at night into the France Theater, when the Beauty and the Beast show was during the day for the kids. Who knows? I could see it actually being maybe in a different part of Hollywood Studios, or maybe even being moved over to Magic Kingdom in the theater. There's some areas that they could definitely do that. I don't see it going away forever because Muppet Vision 3D was Jim Henson's last project before he passed away. And that is still wildly popular. Most of those Muppet Vision 3D shows are always 75% full.
Yeah.
It's a very popular show. So I'm happy to hear them saying the verbiage that it's being archived, and don't be surprised when it shows back up again.
Right.
But the Muppets themselves are just moving across the park, right? They're moving over to Rock and Roller Coaster. So
They're
Yes.
taking over the coaster.
the Aerosmith solo theme, because we could still see some elements of Aerosmith in there, interacting with the Muppets. We don't know what they're going to do, but the Aerosmith all to themselves is going to be going away.
Yep.
I actually thought when it reopened from this long closure from last summer, it was going to be gone with all the legal troubles that poor Steven Tyler is in, whether it's true or not. But
Right.
hey, it came back in its current form, only to be announced just a couple months later that the Muppets are taking over.
Yep.
What was the Muppet show that you alluded to, the last one that's probably going to have that theming with it, with the not the Muppet show, but the band?
Oh yeah,
Electric
the one on
Mayhem.
Disney
Electric
Plus.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
Electric Mayhem. Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to be a big part of what they're doing.
Well, because if you look at the photo,
Yeah, it's
it's
them.
mostly a picture of the band.
Yeah, the
The band
Mayhem.
Electric Mayhem with Animal and Dr. Teeth and
I mean, there's got to be a Kermit, Fozzie,
for sure.
Miss Piggy
If I don't
element
see
to it
Fozzie
somewhere.
on the drums in the pre-show, I will riot.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I mean, you need Animal on the drums. Sorry, I said
Animal on the
Fozzie.
drums.
Animal.
The Animal on the drums in the pre-show, please.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Like, it needs to happen. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it doesn't have to be Kermit. Like, just add anything.
Well,
Like,
you can't take I mean, that's old school Muppets is
Yeah.
Animal is on the drums. It's just they can't change that. They
No, they
can't.
it
won't.
just makes me smile just thinking about him on the
And I'm
drums.
sure you'll
Like,
see
it's
Kermit,
just,
Fozzie, and Miss Piggy and everybody.
You'll see them
Yeah.
in other
So,
elements, I'm sure. I'm sure.
yeah.
The ride guys, and gals watching, the ride's not changing. It's kind of similar what they're doing to Splash Mountain. It's the same ride. They're just retheming it.
Yeah,
When you're on the
dinosaur too.
ride,
Yeah.
when you're on the
Changing the
ride,
cutouts.
the cutouts on the
Yeah.
ride will be different. You won't have I'm sure there's still going to be some neon because it's dark in there, right?
I hope they
Yeah.
add more. There were so many like dead spots. So I hope they bring more in there.
I'm sure they're going to have Muppet songs singing in the back with some artists. I can't. It's going to be weird not hearing Sweet Motion and Loving a
If I
Roller
hear
Coaster in
Try
your ear.
Everything on like the way they did, I'm sorry, I cannot get over that. Like putting that in Country Bears, like it's just, yeah.
But what's the
Sorry, rant
song when we
over.
were young for the Muppet movie? Moving Right Along.
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
please.
I can see
Oh,
that in
that'd
your
be
ears while you're,
great.
that could be in your
Yeah.
ears. I don't want to hear Rainbow Connection when I'm on.
No, that's not a roller coaster song. No.
Or a
Moving Right
metal,
Along
like a
definitely would
metal
go.
theme, like James Hetfield from Metallica doing Rainbow Connection. There we go.
They could
But
do
I don't
that.
think. Yeah, that'd be cool. Rock that out. Disney,
But I'm
call
sure
me.
Disney will do something awesome with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's go back over to Muppet Land,
Yeah.
or not Muppet Vision 3D, and talk more about the monsters.
Yeah.
monsters.
So that whole area back there where the Muppet area was, Mama Melrose restaurant will be closing, Pizza Rizzo will be closing and making way for all new Monsters Inc. themed attractions and restaurants. And I did see, and we talked about it last time, that they are opening the sushi restaurant,
Nice.
the one that's in the
There
The
you
movie
go.
movie, they have
Monsters
to,
Inc.
right?
Yes, yes. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. But there's going to be a lot of things going in there, not just the roller coaster, which is we talked about last time as well. The door. What do you even call it? The factory where all the doors
Yes.
go
Yeah.
through, and that's going to be the coaster. So
Yeah. And the coaster that they're building is going to be in a brand new area that's not developed right now. So
correct,
when
brand new
you
area.
when you come off the old Monster or Muppet Vision 3D, you came through those doors, and as you're walking down the little ramp and throwing your glasses and the things, if you look to the right, there's a wall there. That
Mm.
wall, imagine that wall being knocked down, and that's where the ride's going to go. It's going to go out into the parking lot. I think that's the employee parking lot. And that's where the ride
Mm.
is going to be stretched out into the building for the ride. I think they're going to do something similar to what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. They're obviously the whole ride's going to be not outside; it's going to be in an indoor building.
Yeah. Yep.
Just like they did with Guardians. You're going to see a brand new, huge building develop. And you know what Disney does? They always use that go away green color to
Yeah.
mix into the environment, or blue, to
Yep.
the skyline,
Sky blue color.
the sky blue color. So you're gonna see that whole new area be developed and expanded for it. I'm kind of sad because one of my favorite bathrooms back there was Gonzo's Royal Flush, and I would
Yes.
imagine that's going to be rethemed Monsters too. So
Yep. Yep.
as long as that
Yep.
party room in Pizza Rizzo's up there remains, but as like a maybe a cafeteria room or something for the Monsters Inc.
Something, because that was such a great space to get out of the heat, and it
Yeah.
wasn't ever crowded.
And the music they played up there, it was just
Yep.
we don't my family could never agree where we wanted to have lunch, so everybody would go somewhere else and bring their trays, and we'd all eat upstairs in the
Yeah.
in the
That's
party
smart.
room. So
Smart.
yep, there's a
I
lot
would like
going
to
on in Hollywood.
see I would like to see, along with I mean, it's good that they're adding the sushi restaurant. I really want to see maybe one or two more table service options in Hollywood studios. I think that it's needed.
It is.
Adding the barbecue place in Toy Story Land was great.
It
So they
helps.
definitely need
A couple more.
more options like that.
Mhm.
And they
So
can't lose. I mean, Mama Melrose will be rethemed and changed, but they can't lose that space. So they need to retheme it,
yeah.
and
Right.
you know,
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
And one other thing that's closing there with the addition of the cars in Magic Kingdom, I think they're going to probably be moving. I'm guessing Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy over there,
Yeah.
um, because that area I had read was going to close too, the Racing Academy, or moved over to Magic Kingdom. That's what I would imagine. It would make more sense over there, right?
Yeah.
Correct. It would. Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep.
I remember the Racing Academy before it's where its current spot is now, right next to Rock and Roller Coaster. Didn't it used to be right when you got off Muppet Vision 3D back there in that corner too?
It used to be back there, and that it was, God, what was it? Because originally it
Racing
wasn't Lightning
Academy.
McQueen. It
It was just
was,
it was just like a meet and greet with a
well, even
couple.
before that, it was the driving show, Stunt Driver.
Oh, the stunt driver, that was back in the old
That's
Star
right.
Wars. The
Oh, was it?
lights, yeah, that was that's in the Star Wars area.
Oh, yeah, you're
The
right.
Streets of America. That was the back corner
You're
of it.
right. You're right.
Yeah, because don't
Okay, I've
even get
forgotten
me
about
started.
that.
I love Star Wars Land, but I miss the Christmas lights, the Osborne
Osborne
light,
show. Oh,
Osborne
yeah.
show.
That was so good.
That was especially this time of year. That was so amazing. But at
Mhm.
the back of the Osborne show, way in the back there, is where your lights, camera, action was.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And actually, just doing a quick Google search, one of the things that was before that was Club Villain, a ticketed event that ran from January through March, from March 2016, January to March 2016, basically featuring Dr. Felicia and other Disney villains. So,
Well,
yeah.
I'm old enough to remember too, and I know you guys do. You know where the I guess it would be like when you're walking to Toy Story Land from like Rock and Roller Coaster, you got to take a right at that DVC lounge right by where Walt's Vision is. But you used to be able to go straight back there where that wall is, and there used to be the movie ride, the movie and TV show
Yes.
Oh, the
ride back
great.
there.
Yep.
The great movie ride, and
Hmm.
you got to tour like a lot of sets from some of your favorite TV shows. I think
Yep.
the Walt's airplane was back there for us to see,
Yep.
and then you
Yeah,
got to
gosh,
and
yeah.
you got to participate in that show where you got wet like you were on a
What? Yeah.
boat. So man,
Yep.
I miss the old Hollywood studios.
Yep.
You know,
And we talked about it once before, the old Honey, I Shrunk the Kid play
oh,
area. It
man, I
was
used to
so awesome.
go back there and take a nap. On the ground where
Yeah,
all the kids
right?
play. It was shady back there. It was kind of cool.
So nice.
Yes.
So
Yep.
yeah, that was kind of part of Streets of America to kind of like back there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, neat. I
Yeah.
was I was watching I know this has got nothing to do with the, what's coming, but I was watching a TikTok video the other day, and I'm a big Seinfeld fan, right?
Mhm.
And as you're coming out of the current where Muppet Vision 3D is, you're coming out of there to turn left to go to um, Star Wars Land. If you keep going straight, there's still a little element from the old Streets of America left. They have a couple of those buildings still right there. And one of the buildings has a coded, like a security door that's got names passing on it. And one of the names I read on a TikTok video, someone just shot it a couple of days ago, was Kramer Assman from that episode of
Oh my god.
Cosmo Kramer the Ass Man. So I'll have to see if I can find that video. But if you look at the names as it's going through all the different tenants in that building, it's
I'm
Kramer
gonna
Ass
look.
Man.
I
Yes,
am gonna look
Yeah.
when I go.
yes,
I go in 2 weeks, so I'm
yep.
gonna look.
And I
That's
think
crazy.
I think Disney in some form or fashion now with all the companies that they have bought up, I think they do own the rights to Seinfeld or something like that. So maybe that's why they
Probably.
added that.
No, that was
That's
no,
Was that
that's
Universal?
NBC. Yeah,
Uh,
that's NBC. So
But the
that's
royalties have
yeah.
changed rights so many times now. Who knows? But
Yeah.
they are. Then if they're not owning it, then one of the old Imagineers must be a big Kramer fan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Put that in
An
there. So
Imagineer stuck it in there.
yes, I'll have to see if I can find that video and send it to you guys.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Love it.
But
So
anything else at Hollywood Studios before we move to
I
my
think
favorite park?
that's everything at Hollywood Studios. It was all kind of back there in that area, and then the Muppets taking over the roller coaster.
I cannot wait to ride the new Monsters Inc. ride.
I know that's going to
It's
be
got to be a
great.
suspended coaster, right? I would think it'd be
Yeah.
a
yeah, it
suspended
is going to be
coaster.
a suspended coaster.
Yeah,
So
to make you feel like
yeah,
you're flying around like the Doors,
Mhm.
to make me
It's
feel
going to
like
be
my
great.
legs are hitting the poles, like any good suspended coaster for a
Yeah.
guy my height. So, all right. So now we got one
Okay.
park left, and then we got some
Yes.
just general
The
updates.
best part too. The best
Yeah.
part.
Yes. Best
Yes.
for last. Okay. So we're going to head over to Epcot. And number one, we're going to say the best thing that happened in 2024 was the construction walls came down.
All of
And
them.
we are
Yes.
finally, yeah, it's not.
Black wall free, right?
Yes. It's so nice. And I can't wait. I haven't seen it yet all opened up. So I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
It's
Journey of
when
Water
we
opened up. That was
yep.
great.
Yep.
When I was there
And
in the spring, it was the only walls that were left was the ones over by the on the way to the land building there where that new pavilion was going to be, which but when I was there in September they were all down, and I got to go in and tour the new building and such, and it's really weird to see those walls gone, because I
yeah.
got so used to them and having to
Right.
take long ways around everything.
Yeah.
But now you can cut right through the middle of Epcot again. It's
I
wonderful.
love it. I cannot wait. Cannot
Um,
wait.
but yeah, so I think the major thing over there was just some refurbs, right? Changes
Refurbs, yes. So we've got Test Track is going to be completely reimagined.
for the
So
third time.
we don't have any idea of what it's going to be or what it's going to look like. They haven't released anything other than it's going to be redone again, which I'm so
Still redone.
surprised.
It's still being sponsored by General Motors or
Yep,
Chevrolet.
and
So
I have heard it's going to have a callback in ode to the old Worlds of Motion. There's going to be some type of callback to that in there, because that's what it used to be before Test Track was the Worlds of Motion, right?
Yep.
So there's going to be some type of ode to it. Personally, I miss version 1.0 of Test Track, the dummies.
The Test Track or Test Crash dummies. I love that. I don't know if I think I've showed you guys this picture because it's just one of my absolute favorites. I'll have to find it and see if I can hold it
and
up.
just send it to me, and we'll put it in
we'll put it up on the thing.
Yep.
But yes, it's going to be the third version of it. I think the sponsorship has changed slightly over the years. It was like General Motors one time, then it was GM. They've slightly tweaked the name. I had a couple people asking me if the General Motors employees would still be able to get their access to that lounge up top.
The lounge, yeah.
And I'm told that with version 3.0, it's still going to be the same for them.
Yeah.
In September, last December, we were actually up in that GM lounge up there, which is kind of cool. They have their own version of building your car up there, so you can do it without anybody around you, and you just can skip that whole room.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be reimagined. It shut down this past June, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would imagine it's probably getting at least halfway close to being done, because they say it's supposed to be done by this coming spring, summer 25. So we'll see what they do there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other thing that I think is going on there, right, is a new lounge, right?
Yes. We have a Spaceship Earth lounge coming in. So, let's see what that says. Panoramic views of the World Celebration Gardens. Great view of the nightly fireworks. Interior design will take inspiration from the iconic Spaceship Earth structure, blending futuristic elegance with comfort, is what it says.
So I wonder where it's going to go. Is it going to be a new build, or is it going to go up top of the exit
I think
building?
it's the new build on top of. I think they have existing space up there, if I'm not mistaken. I when this was announced in D23, I think we did a deep dive into it. So yeah.
I just sent you the image. I'll hold it up and just see if it will come through okay. But so this was after the Test Track had been rethemed to the second version. My son loved the first version. Well, this, I guess, 1.0 Test Crash dummy. So that's
awesome.
That's the
Yeah,
picture.
I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can post it real quick.
He bought that what's it called, a morph suit, specifically to take it on that ride and ride
That's
as a Test
great.
Crash dummy.
That is awesome.
Isn't that the best?
God,
so
it looks
that's
so.
Josh.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I missed the original one. Who was the actor on that show? The guy from the Pitch Perfect movies. I can't think of his name. I'll have to see if I can get in there. But he's another major actor that we lost with that change to the 2.0 version. I wonder if they'll possibly bring him back. Trying to think, there's nothing really else at Epcot then that's really happening. I mean, it shouldn't be.
Really.
Epcot was under the most construction for the longest time, so I think they deserve to be left alone.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Nothing really changes in World Showcase. That's going to remain the same. You still got the same festivals coming up. If anything, the festivals always seem to get extended a little bit longer. They did just announce the Flower and Garden dates, and that's going to be awesome. I think it goes into June this time.
And the first tier of concerts, the
first month
groups have been released. So
all right.
And other than that, just general updates as far as what's going on in the parks. Like everything, we've got the Lightning Lane reworked has come out. It's no longer Genie Plus. It's now Lightning Lane Multipass. Lightning Lane single pass. And now you've got a Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which is like a
VIP tour light.
VIP tour light. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much
Yeah,
what it
that's
is.
the best way to describe it.
It's the best way to describe it. You know, multi-pass single pass is kind of a marriage between the old fast pass system and the individual lightning lane purchases for the Genie Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So the individual lightning lane didn't really go away. They just renamed it single pass. And then I don't care what you say, the multi-pass is really nothing more than lightning or fast pass plus.
Fast pass. Mm-hmm.
Fast pass plus with a minor tweak to it. You can have 3 rolling ones at all times now instead of the 3 at the start with fast pass and then 1 at a time when you were in the park.
Yeah.
So that's I actually think it's a really good marriage of the two systems. I really liked it. I've used it without any issue. I have not used the Premier one. I don't see myself spending that kind of money for it.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
You know, especially for as much as I'm down there and what I do, I just don't see myself doing it unless I'm with friends and family that don't go there very often and want to do it. You know, I might. But yeah, VIP tour light's the best way to look at it. You know, for the money you're spending, you're damn near getting close to a VIP.
I think I coined that phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good phrase. It's gonna run you roughly what $300-400 for the day.
Yeah. Per person.
Per person, you know, but it's unlimited, has many rides as you want on any of the Lightning Lane attractions. So
yeah. So real
awesome.
quickly, before we get out of here for the year, let's just touch on some of the things coming to the Disney park on the left coast, because there's a lot coming. And there's a lot that happened.
Jeff, you
that
fly
was
through
announced.
those.
Let's buzz through them really quick. You know, obviously with Disneyland being a much smaller footprint, there's just 2 parks over there. You got Disneyland and you got California Adventure. Let's start at Disneyland Park. They're going to have a new on the Haunted Mansion grounds. They're going to have a new gift shop over there for Madame Leota. So that one's Madame Leota's Somewhere Beyond gift shop is going to be opening sometime this winter. So, you know, early 2025. The 70th anniversary of Disneyland is being celebrated starting May 16th, 2025. And they're going to be bringing back the Paint the Night Electrical Parade. So for those people wanting the Electrical Parade to come back, it is coming back. It might not be in its current fashion the way it left, but it's going to be a new version of the Electrical Parade. I love that damn song, even though it's so corny.
I know.
It's just
I had the little 45 when I was a little kid. It was clear and you could play.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the best.
45, man, do we age ourselves right there.
I know.
Even though I was Christmas shopping yesterday and there's records in all these stores again. And I'm like, the records are coming back. You got to be kidding me. And they're actually cheaper than DVDs are.
Right.
But the Paint the Parade's coming back this coming May. There's going to be a Wondrous Journeys nighttime projection show as well for Disneyland Park. And there's a preview of it up on their YouTube page or anybody wants to see it. There's going to be a new mission on Millennium Force Smuggler's Run 2026. The Mandalorian and Grogu are going to be introduced into the ride. So all the Star Wars fans, and better yet, the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, Grogu. So there's going to be new missions for that. So the picture rendering is awesome. You're going to be able to see Mando and baby flying right over the Falcon with you. You know,
that's great.
So the entrance gates are getting some construction. The turnstiles are going to be updating them there at Disneyland. So just know that that's coming. One of the things I'm most excited about, if you guys know, Disneyland Park's got a giant statue up front, animatronic of Mr. Lincoln. Well, they're adding Walt Disney himself animatronic up there with Mr. Lincoln,
which is amazing.
I'm surprised they haven't done this already.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, I think, well up in tears when they see that, because you know how attention to detail Lincoln looks, and that was done 25, 30 years ago or more.
Yeah.
And he looks like a real damn Abraham Lincoln up there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how close this is going to look to being Walt himself. And it's going to be Walt up on stage, basically standing there when he was introducing, you know, what Disney World was going to look like. You know, there's plans in the back. So it's going to be him talking about the future. And that's just going to be that's what I want to see the most going over there. It's not even the Star Wars or the Marvel stuff. It's that animatronic of Walt himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That'll be cool. That's one thing I never got to do. None of us got to do was meet Walt, because he passed away in the late 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right,
just
so
an American icon. So
American icon, and to see him get his own animatronic, man, that's going to be
about
cool.
time.
California Adventures Park. You're going to have the World of Color Happiness May 16th through the summer of 26. It's an all-new World of Color show. The World of Color is their night show there in the waters and the
great.
fountain. It's great.
Yeah, and they
it's
project
amazing.
right on the water. It's great.
So it's going to be right there. It's a new retheming. They're going to have anything from the Inside Out characters to it looks like Encanto is going to be in there. Frozen. There's just going to be a lot of IP in that show. So that World of Color is getting an update. There's also a new Pixar Pals celebration parade that starts in May. This is all kind of around their 70th anniversary. So you got the Pixar parade. It's going to be complete with the characters from Coco in there now, which is really cool.
Good.
Luca, Turning Red, Soul Up. There's a lot of IP in that one as well.
Yep.
But now the big news. And if you're a Marvel fan, there's going to be a lot of cool Marvel things coming to it. They got the Avengers Infinity Defense attraction. It's going to be the iconic Avengers headquarters, and it's going to be a e-ticket attraction. I don't know what that means.
They really need another attraction in that part of the park.
Yep. Yeah. So it's going to put you right in the middle of the multiverse behind the Avengers headquarters. So that's going to be really cool. And you get to face off against Thanos, my favorite villain.
Nice.
Yeah. That one is going to be really, really cool. And then you also have Stark's Flight Lab, which is really neat. It's going to be a themed ride type attraction that is around Tony Stark's, wild creations. If you think of the Iron Man IP and all the different things Tony created and everything. So it's going to be another Avengers campus attraction. Stark Flight Lab takes riders on a simulated ride in Tony Stark's robotics lab. So that's going to be opening in or starting to build in 2025. And I don't know, they don't have an opening date yet for it. If you're a Jim Cameron fan and you love the Avatar Land at Disney World, you're now going to be able to have Avatar Land coming to Disneyland's California Adventure at a TBD date coming in the near future. So I'd imagine you'll start to see areas starting to clear and be prepared for that. The Avatar Land's going to have a next generation boat ride. It's going to be a little bit different than the one at Walt Disney World Animal Kingdom. It's going to be more open with creatures coming down on you and everything. So that one's going to be opening. That's going to be like the main thing in the Pandora Land there. And then you got the first ever Coco ride being built in the Pixar Pier area of California Adventure. So it says here that the new boat ride will be filled with familiar characters. Follow Miguel along the land of the dead. So the Imagineers are drawing inspiration from the movie The Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, it says.
That'll be amazing.
All three of those IPs for the Coco ride, the boat ride. Downtown Disney, let's move over to Downtown Disney. They're getting a new expansion. A lot of different restaurants have closed up shop. Unfortunately, my favorite Mexican restaurant down there closed up, and I think they're retheming that. But they're going to have a new wonderful place. It's going to be called the Sweetest Taste. It's going to be like a candy shop down there. And then you also have some new restaurants. There's going to be an Earl of Sandwich, Porto's Bakery and Cafe, Walt Disney Wonderful World of Sweets. That's the one I just mentioned. Obviously, you can also have a new steakhouse called Arthur and Sons Steak and Bourbon. And then there's going to be a new Pearl's Roadside Barbecue all coming down there. There's going to be some other places, such as Soul Sister, Sip and Sonder, Gigi's Chicken Shop, Carnaby Tavern, and Vista Parkway Market. Those are all going to be quick service places down there.
Wow, that's a lot, actually. Yeah. And I mean, Downtown Disney is fairly compact, so I'm glad to see that they're going to add some stuff.
But back in that corner of Disney, Downtown Disney, I'm glad they still call it that. But back in that corner back there, kind of where you flow into the hotel, there is some area back there. So I would imagine they're going to expand back there.
Yeah.
That's also the place where the new expansion to Disneyland Hotel opened up too. So, which was just recently. So those are all the changes coming to Disneyland, California Adventure, and Downtown Disney in the very near future. You guys,
Lots of great stuff to look forward to.
I actually haven't been down there in I think 3 or 4 years now.
Plus, we're gonna have Leslie and possibly I don't know who joined her on the inaugural or the preview cruise, the Treasure, but we're gonna have her on to discuss that in the near future. There's
Sweet.
so much coming down the pipe.
I was
So
I was all set to go to Disneyland this coming June. Mine and yours, Jen, our old company that we used to be with. That's where they were going to have their yearly summit, but that got canceled. I had already booked my room and everything.
Darn.
So I don't
Darn
know. I
it.
still have the reservation in my DVC. We still might go, but
I think you should go, Jeff.
yeah, I do too. Did you
Treat
Well,
guys?
yourself.
I was there in February for a a familiarization trip that through the agency, and yeah, it was great. That's my second time at Disneyland, and we lucked out. Everything was open except for the Mexican restaurant that closed. We were really bummed about that,
Yes.
but there wasn't anything that was closed down, refurbished, anything. So it was nice to be able to experience everything.
Yeah.
Did I
So
see, and maybe I saw this wrong? Did I see that it's a Treasure, the one that just went on the water, right?
Mhm.
yes.
Did I see they had a leak, a water leak?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I
going.
don't know, but I know Leslie reported the other night that it wasn't a good night on the Treasure.
Yes, and I saw some
So
TikTok videos of a major water coming into whatever's right underneath the pools. So I have and that was their maiden voyage. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to see if they can get that. I mean, we talk about it all, right? The good and bad. We want people to know about it.
Right?
But there
yeah,
could be a cruise or two here that's either postponed or if they have some fixes. But I saw something on TikTok and someone just showed the water pouring down. So we'll see.
yep.
Um,
So
but with anything new, there's going to have a few hiccups as they get
yeah,
things going. But
Yep.
guys, that's the end of the year. Holy cow, man! It was a fun-filled year. We have so many cool things coming on both the left and the right coast, right bottom coast, I guess. We have so
Yep.
much coming in the near future. Blessed with Disney. I can't wait to see the changes. For
Mhm.
you Universal fans, you got Epic Universe coming this coming spring.
it's coming and it's coming in hot.
It's
So
coming in hot.
yeah,
That is going to be a third gate for them. So they're only one park behind Disney World now. And I'm okay with that.
yeah,
I would love to draw some of the crowd away from Disney World this year and just be able to relax and enjoy, because I felt it was really crowded this year
Yeah.
when I was there. So we'll see how the new year
yeah,
goes.
And just a reminder, if you are attempting to go to Epic Universe, there are some restrictions. So please contact a travel agent.
Yep.
Any of us here at Moments of Magic Travel can assist you with that, because you can't go there for 2 days in a row. They're not going to let you do that.
yeah,
You are only going to be allowed one day. So contact a travel advisor, get the scoop on how to get there and see the new Epic Universe. But have some guidance.
Yes,
Just
yeah,
you guys really should be using travel agents for every one of your trips. We don't charge anything. We are
no,
100% free. And I think there's a misconception out there that we don't use travel agents. We don't want to add more to it, and I can do it myself. Guys, we don't charge anything. Disney,
yeah,
Universal, whatever we book
he's
pays
us.
us, So
Mhm.
whether you're doing it or we're doing it, we do all the work for you, from your dining reservations, your multi-pass, single pass, fast pass setup.
Mhm.
We'll even go in and do your special experiences for you if you want to
Yep.
take your little princess and have her done up at Bippity Bop Boutique, or maybe grandma wants to go do the behind the scenes tour,
Mhm.
any of that stuff. We set up all those special experiences for you. We set up everything. All you got to do is go enjoy it, and it doesn't cost you a thing. It
Yep.
just Disney's forced to share some of the profits with the travel agents.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's
And
free
we're
to you.
really good at what we do, I think. So
Yep.
like,
It just
you
frees
know,
you up to
I
enjoy your day at the park that much more.
Yep. And we're gonna
Yep.
have Leslie on pretty soon into the new year, our owner of our company, and we'll talk about just that, because I think she wants to talk a little bit about the agents themselves and such, and a push for some more. So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, thank you to Leslie. for just inspiring this, just cultivating this dream we call this podcast. And again, if you want and you're new to us, like and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page, which we're going to really be focusing on next year.
That graphic up one more time.
Yeah.
Get your free no obligation quote, and don't forget, like and subscribe. So that's gonna do it. We're done for the year. We will see
Yay.
you
We
January
need a ball
7th.
dropping right now. We need a ball.
I know. Happy New Year.
Yeah, we need a celebration. So
Merry Christmas,
yes,
Happy New Year to you both and everybody watching.
Happy holidays, you guys.
So thanks
for
being a part of our community. We enjoy you. So for Jeff, for Jen, and soon to be Alyssa, I'm John. We'll see you next time. Have a great one.
Take care, everybody.
Holidays,
See you next year.
Yes.